Good evening and welcome back to the Shadow Nook. This evening we are travelling to Falmouth, and perched on a rugged headland overlooking the sea in Falmouth is Pendennis Castle. Pendennis Castle is one of England's finest coastal fortresses. It offers sweeping views of the Carrick Roads estuary, a strategic defensive position for centuries. But not just as a home or symbol of power, but as a military stronghold designed to repel invasion. With such a long, turbulent history, it's perhaps no surprise that many believe the past never truly left. So let's look at some of the history of Pendennis Castle. Construction began in 1540 under the orders of Henry VIII. Built as part of a chain of coastal defences known as device forts, created in response to fears of invasion from Catholic Europe, particularly France and Spain. Designed with a circular keep and gun platforms to defend against naval attacks, its sister fortress, St Maur's Castle, sits across the water, creating a deadly defensive crossfire. The castle quickly became a key military installation. Soldiers were stationed here permanently, living in harsh, isolated conditions. Life was strict, disciplined, and often brutal. Pendennis Castle played a major role during the English Civil War. Held by royalist forces loyal to Charles I, it became one of the last royalist strongholds to fall. Besieged by parliamentarian forces for 5 long months, conditions inside the castle became desperate. Food supplies ran dangerously low, disease spread rapidly among soldiers, and starvation became a real threat. Some accounts suggest soldiers resorted to eating horses and vermin, and morale collapsed as hope faded. The castle finally surrendered in 1646, not due to defeat in battle, but because survival was no longer possible. This prolonged suffering is often believed to have left a psychological and spiritual imprint on the castle. Pendennis Castle remained in use for centuries. Upgraded during the Napoleonic Wars, modernised again in the Victorian era. It played roles in both World War I and World War II. Soldiers continued to live and train here well into the 20th century. The site saw long periods of isolation, stress, fear, and anticipation of attack. Today it is managed by English Heritage, but despite its preservation, many believe something unseen still lingers. Let's start with the Grey Lady. She's one of the most frequently reported spirits, and witnesses who do see her describe a woman dressed in grey, often seen near the older parts of the castle, moving silently through corridors or along the battlements. She is said to appear suddenly and then vanish just as quickly. She is normally accompanied by a sudden drop in temperature. Some believe that she may be the wife or lover of a soldier who was stationed at the castle, someone who waited and waited for a loved one who never returned. Others suggest she could date back even further, perhaps to the Civil War period, and visitors have reported feeling watched while alone, catching glimpses of movement from the corner of their eye, and her presence is often described as not aggressive but deeply melancholic. Moving on to the phantom soldiers at Pendennis Castle. Given the castle's long military history, it's no surprise that ghostly soldiers are reported. Sightings often include figures in uniform walking along the ramparts, shadowy shapes standing guard at lookout points, and some visitors have claimed to hear the sound of boots marching across stone floors, metallic clinks like weapons or armour shifting. Particularly active areas for these soldiers include the keep, the defensive walls, underground passages, and many other areas throughout the castle. These spirits are often linked to the Civil War siege, and soldiers who died from starvation, illness, or injury. Paranormal investigators have reported things such as unexplained noises, equipment malfunctions, sudden cold spots, and many other strange feelings. During its long history, parts of the castle were used to detain prisoners, and it is said that the suffering endured by these individuals has left an imprint on the castle. Visitors have reported hearing faint whispers or cries, feeling sudden waves of unease in enclosed spaces, and some even describe a heavy, oppressive atmosphere in certain rooms. There are also claims of doors closing on their own, the sensation of being touched or brushed past. Whether psychological or paranormal, the experience is deeply unsettling to those who experience it. Now, one of the more chilling phenomena reported at Pendennis Castle is shadow figures. Witnesses often describe dark, human-shaped figures moving quickly through corridors, shapes that seem to dissolve into walls. Unlike the Grey Lady, these entities are often described as featureless and silent. Encounters often include a sudden feeling of dread and the instinct to leave immediately. Some theories suggest that these may not be spirits but residual energy, or perhaps something less easily explained. Let's move on to the haunted tunnels. Beneath the castle lies a network of tunnels and underground rooms. These areas are considered among the most active parts of the site. Visitors and staff have reported hearing footsteps when no one else is present, echoing voices with no clear source, and some claim to feel disoriented or uneasy underground, as though they are not alone. During investigations, sudden temperature drops are common. Equipment batteries drain unusually fast. The tunnels were once used for storage, the movement of troops, and shelter during attacks. They now seem to hold onto something far older and far darker, though. So let's look at some theories and interpretations of these hauntings. There are several ways to interpret them. They could be residual hauntings. The castle may act like a recording device, replaying moments of intense emotion, fear, suffering, anticipation. Or it could simply be intelligent spirits haunting the castle. Some encounters suggest awareness, apparitions reacting to people, and movement that appears to be deliberate. This could all be evidence of intelligent spirits. It could also be psychological factors. The setting itself plays a role. Dark corridors, isolation, knowledge of its violent history. The mind may fill in the gaps, creating experiences that feel very real. Now, Pendennis Castle stands as a monument to war, survival, and human endurance. But beyond its stone walls and military history, there are stories that refuse to fade. From the silent Grey Lady to the restless soldier standing guard, many believe that the castle is not just a relic of the past, but a place where the past is still very much alive. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, Pendennis Castle leaves a lasting impression. And perhaps the next time you walk its ancient corridors, you might just not be alone. Let me know down below if you have ever visited Pendennis Castle, or if you would like to visit. And if you have been there, let me know if you have actually witnessed any paranormal encounters. And before you go, we shall do your oracle card reading. We will do the Mystic Forest Oracle card deck again this week. As usual, I will draw one card for you and you can interpret it however you like. Okay. We have Don't Hide. Dare to dream big. Remind yourself that everything is possible. Don't hide your talents and abilities, but use them to build your world. Let me know down below what this could possibly mean to you. Thank you once again for joining me this evening in the Shadow Nook. Don't forget to collect your subscription on your way out, and sleep well.